Hello guys, we are back with our next set of lectures. So in our last series we have completed data structures, right? So I hope everyone have completed that subject along with me. Okay, so now let us continue with the next subject. The next subject which we are starting is algorithms, guys. Okay, so even though as a data structures, even from algorithms also we can expect around 7 to 8 marks, guys. Basically these marks will vary, right? So basically that's just an average score, you can say. Like every year we'll be getting 7 to 8. So in some times you will be getting more than 10 marks also. So it depends completely on the year and the time luck. Okay, yes, and we'll be getting around 5 to 6 questions. Okay, so the algorithm syllabus is this much, guys. Okay, so the first topic is nothing but asymptotic notations, worst case and space complexity. Okay, after that we'll be moving on to searching and sorting, then the algorithm designing like greedy, dynamic programming and divide and conquer. After that we are having graphs. In graphs we are having minimal spanning trees and shortest path methods like flood Warshall and all those algorithms. Okay, yes, so we'll be discussing the algorithms, guys. So in the first lecture only I am saying, so in the subject algorithms we'll be discussing various codes, guys. So whenever we are discussing any kind of sorting, so assume we are discussing quick sort, so at that time I'll be showing you the code also. So the main goal here is you should understand how it is working, guys. There is no need of you to learn the code or to remember the code or something. Okay, if you want you can practice it, but don't just remember it in your brain like after this step will be there. Like I'm saying, don't buttify it. Okay, yes, so it is always a plus point that you should understand the logic, that's all. Okay, yes, so that's the reason why in the subject we'll be discussing various codes, but don't think that you need to remember them. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, yes, so the standard books which you can follow is Corman, guys. Okay, yes, so let us start the introduction about algorithm. So basically what is algorithm? First of all, before starting the subject, let us discuss that in this lecture. Okay, yes, so let us start. So basically what is an algorithm, guys? Okay, so assume that you want to do a particular thing. Okay, so assume that you want to make tea, or you want to have a cup of coffee. So what are the steps you do, right? So we'll be following some steps, right? So you'll be cleaning a utensil, you'll be taking some milk, you'll be adding some water, and you'll be turning on the stove. Like that you will be having some steps, right? Yes, so one after the other you will be doing the steps to get the final output, right? Yes, so if those steps are taught to a computer, so assume that this is a computer and you are teaching those 5 steps to the computer and it is giving your expected output. So basically these 5 steps here which a computer can understand are nothing but the algorithm, guys. I think you got a clear idea, right? So what exactly is an algorithm? Okay, yes, so now let us go through the theoretical way how you can define it. Okay, so algorithm is a finite sequence of a well-defined computer implementable instructions, typically to solve a class of problem or to perform some computation. Okay, so basically these are finite steps, right? So it should have some end. So basically if you are creating or if you are generating t, you at the end you should get a t, right? Yes, so in the same way if you are adding 2 numbers you should get the output, the result, right? Yes, so first you will take a and b, you will add them, you got the result. So in this way, so it should have a finite number of steps. Okay, and they should be well defined. Okay, so assume that if you are taking some value, so assume that you told value of a is equals to 10 and you told to computer that value of b is enough, you can take 10 or 20. So here you are giving some ambiguity, right? So you are saying it might be 10 or it might be 20, means you are not giving clarity. So those things should not be there in an algorithm, guys. You should be always clear. So if a is equals to 10, the b is equals to 10. If not, be equal to 20. So in that way you can write conditions, but never give 2 options for a computer because it cannot understand the things easily, right? Yes, so that is the reason why the steps should be well defined. Okay, similarly computer implementable instructions, so basically the computer can execute it. You cannot say for a computer to turn on the stove, right? So in your house, so those kind of things might not be possible. Okay, yes. Okay, similarly to solve a class of problems, so basically you should solve a problem or you should do some computation. Okay, so the main characteristic is unambiguity. So what I told here, so basically if you are not saying what is the value of b clearly, like you are giving an option to computer select 10 or 20. Okay, so you should give at least probability, like this many times this will be there, like that. So if you are not doing anything and if you are giving an option to computer, it cannot judge, guys. So that is the reason why you should have unambiguous statements. Ambiguity means a similar type of statements which are confusing. Okay, yes, similarly finite space and time should be required. So basically it should have some finite steps in simple words. Okay, yes. Okay, okay, so we'll accept 0 or more inputs. So basically the number of inputs which an algorithm can accept might be 0. So there might not be any inputs, right? Yes, but it should always generate some output. So basically if you are writing a block of code, it might not take any input, but it should give some output, right? If it is not giving output, then why did you wrote the code, guys? That doesn't make sense, right? Yes. So that is the reason why if there is a program or if there's an algorithm, it should give some output. It may not take any input, but it should give some output. At least one output it should give. That's it. Okay. Yes. So now you got an idea, like some gist about algorithm, right? Yes. So it is having finite steps. It is well defined. It can be implemented by computer. Got it? Yes. Okay. So now let us go through an algorithm development cycle. So basically assume that you took a problem and you want to generate an algorithm. So basically how you can generate an algorithm. So similarly like software development life cycle, I think everyone knows, right? Yes. So like we'll be having steps in generating a software, right? So in the same way, even for algorithm also we are having some steps, guys. Okay. Yes. So let us discuss them. So the first step is define the problem. Okay, so the problem might be anything, but we should first define it. So basically you should understand the problem in simple words. Okay, so for now let us take an example, guys. Okay, yes. So assume that you want to construct a house. So I'm giving example with respect to our real life scenarios. Okay, yes. So you want to construct a house, guys. Okay, so what are the first things that you should know, guys? You should know what you want to do, right? So you want to build a villa, or you want to build an apartment, or you want to build a 3 BHK, or what you want to build, you should decide, right? Yes. So that you should define. Okay, so that is the first step. So problem definition, that's nothing but understand the problem. So what you want to build is the thing here. Okay, so the next step is constraints and conditions. Understand the constraints, if any. So assume that this is in some big city, okay, and you want to build an apartment. So if it is a city, there will be some limitations, right? So you can build up to 10 floors only, you can build up to 20 floors only, like that. So those kind of restrictions or constraints, you should always make sure you are following them, right? Yes. So that is the second step. So basically once the problem is defined, check the constraints. Okay, so once the constraints are clear, you can decide a strategy, guys, because you are now clear with the problem, right? So what is the input? Okay, so what are the things which you want to do, and you understood what are the constraints also, what are the conditions. Okay, constraints are simply conditions, guys, in simple words. Okay, yes. So the next step is you will design a strategy, guys. That is nothing but algorithmic strategy. So there are 3 major strategies, guys. So now I am coming in terms of our subject. So there are 3 main strategies. The first type is greedy, the second one is divide and conquer, and the third one is dynamic programming. So any one of them, or if there might be many others, so among these all you will select any one. Okay, so once the selection is done, then you will express and develop the algorithm. So basically you will now generate the algorithm based on the strategy which you selected. Okay, yes, guys, we'll be discussing about these strategies in our future lectures. So if you are not having any idea about these strategies, so for now just continue the flow with the subject. Soon you will be understanding each and every strategy. Okay, yes. So once you have expressed and developed the algorithm, okay, so then you will do a dry run, guys. So the basic meaning of a dry run is without writing the full code, okay, and without testing with the computer, manually you will take the code and you will give the input and you will expect what, okay, this will be the output, this will be the output, this will be the output, like that. So basically when we are solving C program, so 3 previous year question papers, right, if you remember, so at that time they are giving a code and they are giving the input and they are expecting the output, right? So basically this concept is nothing but dry run, guys. So without a computer you are running or you are checking whether it is doing correctly or not. So that is nothing but validation or dry run. Okay, yes. So once the validation is done and if you think everything is working perfectly, then you can go to the analysis, guys. So basically we'll be discussing about 2 major analysis. The first one is space and the second one is time. Okay, so if you ask me among these 2 also which is important, means time complexity, time analysis. Okay, yes. So once analysis and everything is done and you think that your idea or your project or your algorithm is working fine, then you will convert it into code and then you will start testing and debugging, then installation and maintenance. Okay. Okay. So these are all the steps of algorithm development life cycle, guys. So if you ask me, so in the whole subject of algorithm, what are we going to discuss? So the first thing which we'll be discussing is these strategies, guys. So what are the design strategies? We'll be discussing them as well as the analysis phase. So these are the only 2 phases which we'll be discussing in our whole subject, guys. So the rest all phases are not with respect to within our subject or within our course curriculum. Okay, yes. So I hope everyone got a clear idea, right? So what are we expecting in this whole course? Okay, so in the next lecture let us start with the need of analysis. So basically why do we need this analysis and what are the types of analysis we'll be discussing in the next lecture, guys. Okay, yes. So I hope everyone got a clear idea on what is algorithm and its development life cycle. So in the next lecture let us continue with the next topic. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe for more awesome videos like this. Thank you.